Hi, good afternoon everyone. I am greeting you from beautiful sunny Slovakia this time, or for a while actually I have been here. How are you doing everyone? I'm so pleased that today I can share about this subject. Today we are going to be talking about the true power of being a woman, what it actually means, what it means to us as a women, what it means to other people around us, what it means to our partners, and what it actually, how does it actually look like. So I'm greeting you everyone. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Lucia Hoxa. I'm a fertility mindset coach and I support women all over the world to fulfill their dreams, whether it's journey towards motherhood and having a babies, or whether it's hi Maria, hi, nice to see you guys and everyone who is joining us. Greetings. Let me know where you're joining us from. And yes, today we are again going to be talking about women and what it actually means to be a powerful woman. So just start with this subject. It's very it's so much to be said about this subject. Actually, when I've done my research and I was doing actually interviews recently, I published a book where I was collaborating with lots of powerful women, and it was so inspirational to actually see what to meet these women and to hear their stories and to share their stories and co-share our stories together. And it really inspired me to do this Facebook Live because all those insights are actually quite surprising. Now, let's go a little bit to history, in a sense, what it meant for our mothers first and our grandmothers maybe to be a strong woman. Now, remember that the last century was we had a Second World Wars in the world and in Europe, and to be a strong woman at that time often meant that women had to do the jobs of a man, because men been in a war, or they died, or they haven't been present, and even when they came back from the war, they haven't really been there because of a lot of traumatic experiences they went through. So to be a strong woman for our mothers, and mainly our grandmothers, it was really to be to be able to survive, to be able to raise the kids on their own, to be able to provide, to be able to work on a field, like or do all this heavy work that was required for literally a survival. Now, perception of that has then it evolved. Continue with that. Then it evolved towards the kind of this feeling like, well, hold on a minute, now we are kind of doing a man's job, why we should be treated any different than men, why we should be paid different, why we should be anything less, why we shouldn't have opportunity to vote, right, and so on. And then it started like flipping into like a lot of like women being masculine, like Margaret Thatcher with her pads on her shoulders, like in her suits, and we started like really drifting towards being a strong means being a masculine. And that's where the biggest pitfall started for us women, because a lot of our moms and grandmothers and us as well now got trapped in this kind of stream of like being a strong means that we are successful in our jobs, and we are juggling millions of things, we are very busy, and we look very successful from the outside, and education and all that stuff, which is nothing wrong with that, don't take me wrong. But what the pitfall of all of this is that as a women we really tried to be almost like super women, like the best mothers, the best daughters, the best workers, the best business women, the best friends, like juggling all these millions of things. And you know, on the outside it was looking maybe great, but on the inside we started like suffering. We started being very, very tired. We started being overwhelmed from all the, you know, things that are coming our way. And yeah, we started suffering of a burnout as well, many of us. So the health, the quality of life, you know, behind the closed doors, it started looking not so happy anymore for us women. And the truth is, when we are in this masculine energy, which is like drive, very driven, very goal oriented, very, you know, go 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 energy, it takes us about 20 to 30 times more energy than it takes men to be in their, what is to them, natural male energy. And so we started being exhausted, you know. But what happened is that, you know, although we felt like we can't really keep on going this way because it takes so much energy for us to keep it all up, we started feeling like we are in this fast track, you know, running train, and we really don't know how to, you know, get off it. You know, like we kind of got trapped in the vicious circle of things, and daily life just was getting more and more and too much, and but we just didn't know what to do with it anymore. So, you know, a little bit of insight and background into the, you know, female, masculine and feminine, and what we started craving for is that something that we can't put a finger on. You know, it's like that feeling that we should be happy, everything is going for us, but really like there's something fundamental missing. That internal satisfaction, happiness, that moment where we can just breathe and be happy. And we started searching for answers, like how, you know, how to go about it, how to keep on going. And, you know, in terms of fertility, for those ladies who are watching us, you know, there's a huge pitfall, because in this fast running train, we didn't pay attention to our bodies. We disconnected with our souls. We started living almost lives of other people from inside of the expectations that we posed on ourselves, or other parents or other people, bosses and so on, post on us. And you know, so there's a little bit of insight before I start talking about powerful women. But first, now, before we go ahead, and hi, I see a lot of people joining. Thank you so much for being here with us. I want to make this interactive. So if you want to put in the comments, what do you think, and there's no wrong answer, by the way, what do you think it actually means to be powerful as a woman now? Like, what it means for you, what do you think it means in general, you know, in a world, what are the traits of the powerful woman? Anyone? I would love to see your comments, because that will give us a little springboard and to continue, and also like it will be dialogue. It's very interesting. I just love that when you comment. Or in your life even, like what in your life, what kind of, you know, when life got hard. Yesterday I was posting a blog, like 7 things to do when life gets really hard. Like when life gets really hard, that's often where we discover this truly strong woman inside us. So what kind of got you through to the difficult stages of your life, when you've been maybe losing the, you know, the safety net, or the for me it felt like I'm losing the ground underneath my feet, like there was so much uncertainty. So what kind of traits did you have to use and pull out, you know, like literally pull out, like you maybe didn't even know you have them, those moments, because that's when we really discover, you know, who we are in times of crisis. And what I want to say is really important for us to remember who we've been and what pulled us through, and consciously kind of almost like realize what is that thing that helps us. Often I call it strong suit, and it can be double-edged sword, because the same thing that is helping you for example, you know, working really, really hard and being resourceful and going 100% full on, the very same thing what pulled you through the crisis, it can, in general, normal situation, non-crisis situation, can drag you down. Like this need to perform, this masculine, that is very important, but for us women it's very important to keep on going back to rest in the feminine, which is much more like, you know, being connected with our soul, like giving ourselves a rest, treating ourselves very, very gently, like our body as a temple, tuning in, you know, being sensual, sexual, you know, slowing down, you know, getting all those, you know, holistic things of being a woman. That's the female part of us. Lucy is saying, keeping my mind strong and depending on number one. Lucy, I'm trying to make sense of those. Strong and depending on number one else, maybe? Before myself. I think you're trying to say, like, are you trying to say, like, remembering that I am the number one, that I have to, yes. Thank you. That, yeah, depending on no one else. Yeah, no one else but myself. Yeah, I got you, honey. Yes, exactly. Thank you for that comment, Luz. Like, it's fine. I'm really glad that you are commenting. Lucy's saying apologize. Yes, that's absolutely true, Luz. Thank you. It's about, you know, in times of crisis, at the end of the day, the bottom line is that we are on our own, really. We are not, but when we are in the times of crisis, and it doesn't have to be external crisis, like, you know, we lost the job or something like that, but it can be like inside crisis of identity. You know, when you get to the point where you don't know who you are anymore, you don't know how to go on about your life anymore, you don't know whether to stay in relationship, you don't know whether you are happy or not anymore, like something is missing. It can be that kind of crisis as well. Just like Lucy said, you know, like it's very empowering to realize that there is no one coming to save you. It's really just you. It's really just you who can, I mean, yes, you can reach out, and, you know, that's why I'm here as a coach and therapist and lots of very amazing people who can really support us to get us through, carry us through. But at the end of the day, it's really you who make that choice, or it's really you who need to kind of, you know, choose to use that experience as something to empower you, or something that is going to drag you, and you create a story that is not going to be power, or is going to be disempowering for you for the rest of your life. So absolutely, Luz, you know, like one of the things that we get is, you know, realizing who we truly are, and that we cannot rely on anyone else but ourselves. I want to give you an example of this as well. Like, I know as a child I used to be very not very sick, but, you know, I was one of the, you know, like my mom was a pharmacist, and she was carrying all the bacteria and viruses in a house, so I was actually always, you know, kind of sick in some way. And, you know, amazing thing is that my mom was a wonderful woman, but the truth is she saw me as even though I was the youngest, she saw me that my dad was really all over me, and I had all my attention of my dad, and she didn't really, and I was very strong as a child, yeah, like strong in a sense that I had a strong mind, and, you know, I was very independent, yeah. So my mom kind of didn't really pay attention to me as much as to other children, my siblings, because she thought, well, I'm kind of fine, so she focused on those weaker ones in her view. And so, you know, I was very sick, and looking back now, I'm thinking whether it was also my way of crying out for my mother's love, you know, because the times where my mom was always there for me, like my angel, literally, she came and I was better, was when I was sick. So I wonder whether subconsciously, you know, I was, as a child, and then later on as an adult also, you know, kind of making myself sick in a way that, you know, I was exhausting myself, like, you know, it's like self-sabotaging mechanism. And it was like huge, Luz, you know, this is to your comment, that was like huge revelation when I realized that I was really sick then. And I realized like, oh my God, like no one is coming. There's no one coming to save me, you know. And it was, you know, very upsetting, but very important, because that's when I realized like it's just me. It's just me, and I, you know, like I need to rely on my own self to pull through this, to, you know, mentally, physically, like that. So thank you for saying that, Luz. So now let's talk about really what it means to be, you know, powerful as a woman. So from my view, my research and my work that I do with you guys, amazing women, over the past 20 years, it's the powerful woman knows, she knows who she is. She's like self-aware, she's aware of herself, other words. She's very grounded. She knows who she is, and she is open to the constructive criticism. She's actually asking for people to give her a feedback because she wants to grow, she wants to improve, she's open, and she follows her heart. She's very tuned in with her intuition, and she doesn't need or seek for approval from outside. She's happy to hear the other people's views, and she respects them. However, she knows what is her calling, what, you know, she knows where she's in line with following her heart. And she also discovers, and you know, when she's off, you know, she knows the signs when, and she's able to catch herself like, oh, okay, let's get back home. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, you know, she follows her authentic self, and she's not afraid to be herself fully, like with everything. Even like she, you know, one of the traits of the powerful woman is that she owns her mistakes, meaning she's happy to lift up her hand and say, do you know what, I was wrong then, and I apologize. And this is what I learned, and this is what I'm taking on to make sure that I don't hurt you next time, because I know that it wasn't nice to be on the other side, you know, like that. And you know, so a powerful woman is really also confident in herself, because that is a confidence to be able to say, do you know what, that was my mistake, I've done that wrong, without, you know, her feeling like she's punishing herself or feeling guilty. Yeah, she's free about that, but she's also free to say, I'm sorry, authentically. Powerful woman is the one who stands up for herself. Now, a lot of times, guys, when I work with you, this is like, you know, you're discovering your power in saying no to people. And it's a really, really great power to be able to say no to other people freely, without worrying that you will upset them, without worrying that you will be judged, or that they won't invite you next time, or it will have any other implications. Like saying a no when we feel like it's authentic to say no to us for whatever reason is very, very powerful thing, and I think is missing to a lot of women. A crave for having a confidence in doing so, because saying a no to certain situations is actually saying yes to ourselves, and that itself is very, very powerful. So powerful women knows how to stand up for herself, and she does it with confidence and ease, and sometimes even with a sense of humor. It's very powerful to be able to stand up for yourself, but not in that kind of like glove, you know, boxing glove fisting fight when you know, stomp your feet like a 3-year-old and say no, enough, you know, with anger. No, she does it with a kind of peace and calm, but immense strength. You know, she's very bold about it, and she's being heard, because that's when you're being heard, when you're like fully grounded and present. inside of, you know, you, when you stand up for yourself and say, listen, you know, this doesn't work for me. Can we find another way? You know, or whatever, you know, like when she's like very, very powerful in her communication, in standing up for herself in very respectful, loving way towards herself and equally towards the other. Very important and very powerful. She also speaks her heart and her mind. You know, I found this in many, many situations, or even not speaking if that's required. You know, when you have in a situation of friends that are, you know, bickering or bitching about another one, and she chooses not to join those conversations that are not empowering. She doesn't make other people wrong for it, but she chooses not to participate in anything that is taking her power away. Yeah, or she chooses not to be with people who are not serving her in her life. Sometimes easier said than done, right? But you know, I don't want to go into details, but that's another very important trait of the powerful woman. And you know, standing up for herself is about her respecting her heart and respecting herself enough that she does so. You know, especially from the very beginning, when we are raising our confidence about who we truly are, and owning it is the most beautiful, the most attractive, the most human thing that we can do. Like owning fully who we are and respecting ourselves enough to be able to voice it out. This weekend, guys, I had beautiful visitors. I had two ladies staying with me, and obviously I keep it confidential, the names, but one of them is 23-year-old, and you know, she done some brave decisions in her life and so on, and she's got a sister who kind of finds her too emotional to deal with, and she's like, her sister saying to her like, you have to talk to me rationally, you're not making sense, and she's criticizing her for, you know, her being emotional and vulnerable and, you know, expressing herself freely. And this friend of mine, like, she was very upset about it, and she was like, well, I'm trying to talk her language and so on. And I was thinking, wow, like, but what amazing thing it is to be able to express your emotions freely, you know, to be able to, you know, communicate from that space of heart. You know, often when it is too much for other people, it depends, right? I mean, what it is, but you know, from in this case scenario, like when you are expressing your emotions authentically and, you know, reaching out through the space of heart to other person, when they can't take it, it's often the sign that they don't know how to process their own emotions. So in this case scenario, you know, I said to her, just own who you are and continue being who you are, and say, well, this is who I am, this is how I communicate, and, you know, I'm happy to find the common ground, how we can communicate with each other, but, you know, like, you know, this is really big part of me, and I'm proud of it, I own it. And then, you know, what crossed my mind is like, wow, like, imagine if we are all just rational human, you know, we wouldn't be human beings anymore, really. It would be like human doings, like machines or something. Human being, like, big part of human being is that we are imperfect, and we are emotional, and we are, you know, spontaneous and crazy and different. Another trait of a powerful woman is that she's content. And girls, when I say content, I don't mean steady and, you know, perfect all the time, always carrying herself with a head high and nothing phases her. No, that's not what I mean. But, you know, she's content in general. It doesn't mean that situations in life or people don't upset her. It doesn't mean that she always got an answer. Far from that. It actually means she's able to say, do you know what? I don't have a solution right now, but I'm going to have a look, and I'm willing to have my mind open for the solution to come. I'm willing to say, actually, I don't know, and it's okay. And be honest about it. So she's content in a sense that, you know, whatever happens in life, it might shakes her a little bit, but it doesn't throw her from one side to another. She's not like this tiny mini boat in this stormy ocean where she's being like thrown away. She might be shaken, but she always, you know, finds her ground after some time, and she actually expands and she gets stronger and wiser and even more content. And also she kind of brings fun to her life, you know, like it's not so significant, her daily things. She can laugh about maybe even things that some other people don't laugh about, you know, like she's the one who brings the light into the room. She brings the smiles into people's hearts. She brings something fresh. I love doing this myself, you know, like bringing some fresh perspective, some new angle, some new point of view. I've always been like that, actually, since I was a child. Like I always used to, you know, challenge the old, you know, perceived views of society. Like, what if, you know, we don't know what really is going on in that marriage? How, you know, like that non-judgmental perception. Yeah. She also actively continues to develop and balance herself, and balance her life. You know, there's no such a thing as a total harmony and balance in life. In my life and in my client's life, what I'm discovering is always really just maintaining that balance and realizing what works for us. The more we know ourselves, the more we know about our life, what works for us, what doesn't, you know, who we surround us, the more information we have, the more conscious and aware we are, the easier it gets to maintain, well, first of all, establish the balance in life, you know, what it means for you specifically, because we are all unique and our lives are very unique. And then, you know, how to maintain this balance, because it is about maintenance. And keep on coming back, what I call home. She also always tries to create a positive environment around herself. You know, whether it's like, you know, creating a nice home where everybody feels welcome and kind of at ease, and there is a laughter, and it's clean and organized, and, you know, it's just like some place where she feels very like tranquil, and her family is feeling, you know, like there's a nice vibe to it. But also she creates a positive environment around her. Like I remember when I was going through the surgery, I was literally creating this, you know, my birth was also the sign of it. I like all this big team who was around me, supporting me throughout my birth experience. It was me creating this whole environment, but not just at the time of the birth, but before, you know, leading up to the birth, building relationships, conversations I had, you know, that's what I mean with environment. It's very, very powerful woman can do this. She's got to say about the energy that is around her. She's not in a victim of or impact of, you know, her surroundings. She creates it actively herself, whether it's in a, you know, shopping center or inside of the challenging work situation or a project. She's someone who counts her blessings. You know, she's very grateful. She lives in the that feeling of gratitude and gratefulness, and she expresses it. She compliments other people, just like a queen. You know, like her word matters, and she honors her word. When she gives out promises, she keeps the promises, and she over delivers. You know, she loves surprising people with you know, a lot of times it happens to me, like I do things for no reason, like, and some people got a problem to get their head around, because people are so used to expecting something back when you do something for them. And you know, it takes time to realize, like, oh, really? Like, it's for me? Thank you. So, yeah, like that. She also lives fully. She loves her life, and almost like her passion for life and things that she loves is almost like contagious. So a lot of people like have a tendency to follow her, you know, to be inspired by her. It's very interesting, like, I was just thinking the other day, like, how many of you doing my program are now successful coaches yourself? It's amazing. Like, you started program dealing with some kind of something that was happening at the time in your life, and now, like, you've been so inspired by, you know, helping other people because you sorted out the major things in your life that you want to pass it on, and you want to do this amazing job yourselves. And I'm so proud of you. It's like so many of you now, and yeah, I'm just extremely happy that this gift is being carried this way as well by you. So yeah, this the sign of the powerful woman is that people love to follow her, and she followed by example, authentically. You know, not what she's saying, but the way she lives and the vibe she gives and the kind of actions and what is behind her. You know, like, there's always the conversations with this woman you will always remember, and you always be inspired, moved, touched and inspired by whatever happened in those conversations. People remember her, yeah, in a very good way, and people love to be around her. Another sign of powerful woman is that she likes to challenge herself. Yeah, she likes to challenge herself. She likes to do something she hasn't done before. She likes to explore new places, and you know, she likes to challenge herself, even in a sense that, you know, she reach out to someone who she wants to mend relationship with after years. That's, you know, courageous thing to do. She's very courageous. Yeah, powerful woman is very, very courageous, and she always acts, or she tries her best to act from the space of love, not from the space of fear or doubt. She keeps on opening, she carries on, and she keeps on opening new opportunities for herself. Like, when she's not always she succeeds, like all of us. She is more prone to succeed because of her mindset, but not always she succeeds. But she knows when the one door's closed, the other door's open. And even when she's sad or in a breakdown, she allows herself fully to feel, which also makes her very powerful. But she doesn't stay in a place of sadness for too long. She kind of shakes it off. She learns from it. She grows and expands, and she moves on. Another trait of a powerful woman is that, I mentioned that before, but I want to pause with it for a little longer, is that she admits she doesn't have all the answers. And even now, me talking to you now is not because I know better than you or anyone else, but I feel, you know, the need to share and contribute. But I don't know. I admitted myself, I don't know all the answers. I mean, of course I don't. Yeah, but you know, in spite of that, I'm happy to own it. I don't know some answers about my life or my future yet, you know, but I'm happy to say it out loud, and I own it, and I'm not making it wrong for not knowing. Or even like, the powerful woman is even happy to admit that she's not good at something. You know, like, I'm not good at quite a few things, actually. I'm learning to make cakes now, but I'm not good at, I don't know, DIY. No, I don't like it much either. But, you know, I'm good at other things like communication and people and feeling you. So, but I'm happy to say, you know, this is not for me. Can you help me with that? I'm happy to say that, to do that. And, you know, be open about it. Powerful woman asks questions. She is very good listener, the kind of listener that when you're with her, you feel like you're being heard, like you're leaving with that kind of feeling that you found someone who really, really cares and listens. She listens profoundly. And she asks questions. She's interested in your world. And you feel her. And you feel that she feels you. She has this amazing willingness to learn. She's hungry for new information. She's hungry to expand as a human being, to learn where it can take her within this lifetime. You know, and she can be also a teacher when needed. She's confident in her abilities, but she's willing to always expand, with other words. So, you know, there's a lot to say about, you know, powerful woman, and I'm just looking at my notes, like what is there to worth to mention. Do you have any questions, guys, if you want to say something, or even like share what is this, you know, giving you so far, like how, because I'm hoping that as I'm sharing this, like you're kind of doing your tick box, and those places where you maybe not, you know, haven't ticked the box, hopefully something is opening up. It's like, ooh, I would love to have that, or like, I would love to be more like that, or have more of that in my life. So I would love you to share with me, like what resonates, like what kind of, especially those things that inspire you, like, yeah, definitely, I would like to have more of that. I'm just looking whether I have a rainbow. I promised my kids a rainbow today. And I just heard the rain, and the sun is shining. Anyway, yes, and she's powerful to create. She creates miracles. Talking about rainbow. She is very powerful in creating miracles, because she does it through her heart. She does it through owning fully who she is, being nothing extra. Like, she's not trying to suppress herself or to be anything extra. She just is. And inside of that space, acting and being in this space of love, she's creating miracles around her and for people around her. Now, what are you guys getting from this? Like, is there anywhere where you would like to add something, or anything that I maybe didn't mention, and something that is calling you? Is there anything that maybe you would like to see in the world, like for the world to recognize, like in you know, how does it work for you, for example, in a work environment? You know, being a powerful woman, that's a whole new chapter. Like, how do we adjust as a women in a work environment? Like, there is a sense of control that was associated with being a powerful woman. To what extent is it actually really serving us? That's, again, you know, that masculine energy, being in control. But really, I mean, how much control do we have in life over many things? And, you know, I was 2 weeks ago, I was talking about power of surrendering. That is very much a trait of a powerful woman, to be in the know when to surrender and when to pull together and take an action in where we can actually make a difference in our lives or in our people's lives. So share your thoughts with us. I'm slowly coming to the end of this streaming. I hope this was beneficial for you guys. I would love to hear anything that you would like to add, or even share, like, you know, how did you discover your own strength as a woman, or what do you think would be serving you in this stage of your life. What kind of superpowers you would like to have. And you know, like, remember, we all have these gifts, we all have these superpowers as a woman, or as a man as well. In fact, it's just I work with women for many years now. So, you know, the reason why I'm asking this is that there is another way of being. There is another possibility we can always create for ourselves, no matter what stage of our lives we are, no matter what is happening around us. There's always something where we have a say about how the things will go. And I'm an absolute full believer in us being able to create our own lives just the way we want it, and maybe even better, you know, and in order to live the lives we love. And that's my job. That's my job, to support you in creating the lives you love, creating the freedom you never even thought might be possible for you. So if this inspires you guys, share it, reach out to me, send me a personal message. I would love to hear from you. And for those of you who didn't register yet for our summit, I'm running the summit next week. It's a 3-day summit from 27th to 29th. We have lots of inspirational speakers. I will put a link underneath, and you can even see it on my wall. The kind of talks we will have, I will put it also in a comment, just so you can check it out, and you can maybe tune in for the talk, even on the wall in our Facebook group, where all the talks, I believe, will be archived for a little while, where you will be able to watch them. It's incredible people from all over the world. We have over 30 speakers that are going to bring in so much value. This is an event where you can join free. So it's really all of us coming together from all walks of life to offer you huge value. I will be one of the speakers also, speaking, I think, is 5 o'clock Slovak time, 4 o'clock UK time on 27th, I don't know, 27th or 28th of July. So I will see you there again. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. We will be here streaming live again in 2 weeks time. For now, have a great rest of the weekend, and stay who you are, and stay open, and yeah, live inside of this space of love, because it is not a cliche. Love truly is the most powerful force, especially for us women. That's really the only authentic way for us to be and experience life. Thank you, guys. Bye for now.